Welcome to the Brand Clarity Podcast, hosted by Visions to Images and Susie Liberatore. The Brand Clarity Podcast highlights several different topics, including entrepreneurship, franchises, and digital marketing trends. Visions to Images helps corporations and franchises with their branding, website, paid advertising, and digital marketing. Hello, everybody. Today on the podcast, I have Julie Harrell, president of Cooper's Scoopers. Such an interesting concept, and I'm really excited to kind of dive in and chat with her a little bit. Welcome, Julie.
Thank you, Susie. So glad to be here.
Absolutely. So, of course, everybody has a story, right? So kind of take us down your story journey lane of how you've gotten to where you are today.
That's a loaded question there, Susie. Well, I actually started professionally following in my mom's footsteps into the healthcare world. Immediately out of high school, started working in healthcare and was going into nursing school, and quickly realized that the patient care aspect wasn't fulfilling for me. I went down a management path. So I actually worked in healthcare management for almost a decade and had a wild commute every day. This virtual work from home world is definitely more enjoyable for me. I had a 40-minute commute every day, and that was one way. So the amount of time, and then that was without traffic. I had to go over this high-rise bridge that we have. So the amount of time that I was spending in the car, and then my husband and I were working towards growing our family as well, which was a unique journey in its own. We had to have a surrogate help us carry our girls. So that was, the time, money, and effort we spent to start a family. I was like, I can't take away an additional potentially 2 hours from, seeing my child that I've worked so hard to bring into this world. And we had an opportunity for me to actually be able to stay home while manage our fertility journey. So I took that on full time. A lot of people who go down like fertility or especially surrogacy routes, they outsource to, a third party, which obviously can be costly, but to be able to my hands fully into it and manage the legal and medical aspect of it was truly a blessing. So I focused on that and was able to stay home with our oldest for about 3.5 years. But knew that it wasn't, I didn't want to stay home forever. I still wanted to utilize the professional goals that I had and aspirations.
Mhm.
So I reached out to some friends and had an opportunity to start working part-time for a franchise. It was actually a fitness franchise in an operational support role. At first, I actually said no. I was like, no, because I actually I have another hobby. I do newborn photography as well. And balancing all of it, I was like, no, that's okay. And then the person that I was interviewing, she's actually one of my best friends now. She was like, come on, just come part-time. Susie, I only worked part-time for like a month, and then I went full-time.
Of course, I get it. Yes.
It was a great team. It was a great opportunity, but, sometimes you don't wanna do anything, half-assed, and you're like,
Yes.
there's a lot here that I can do and improve and grow professionally, especially coming from not working for, 3.5 years.
Right.
So that was almost 5 years ago now, and it has been an incredible journey in the franchise world. So that was my kind of first exposure into the franchise world, and stayed with a fitness concept until about a year ago, and I joined loyalty brands. Actually started with Zoom and Groomin', one of the fastest growing mobile pet grooming franchises. Great team there, but was still looking for more opportunity and for a different seat to be able to challenge myself professionally. In December, I was started the position of president of Cooper Scoopers, which I turned down at first.
Why did you turn it down?
I built this from nothing. There was not an existing location at the time. We had a business model to work with, but I didn't know if I could be passionate about pet waste.
Mm. Mhm. It's an interesting concept. I can
It
understand.
is, and to put so much energy into building it and to again, I don't want to do anything half-assed, and I want to create something that people are going to invest time and money into starting a Cooper Scoopers for themselves. So I want to make sure it's
Right.
solid. So I did. I thought about it, prayed about it, and did a lot of research on the pet waste industry, and saw that there was a huge need not only for the service but just educating the general public on pet waste, myself included.
Yeah.
Um, so then I took it. December 23rd, I started, and here we are. It's May 20th, and we have 8 open locations, and more in the pipeline. So it's been
Amazing.
wild.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
That's a crazy story in a way because I can kind of relate to when you're with your kids and stuff like that. So important. And then taking the time to be with them and then going back to work. Like I could never be a stay-at-home mom no matter how hard I tried. Like I was always one of those moms that was like, all right, like I'll take some stuff here and there. And then eventually I was like, all right, we're doing this full time. So I can relate to that story 100%. And it's amazing that you've kind of found that niche in industry because franchising is so cool. So that's amazing. Why did you choose Cooper Scoopers?
I mean, it was presented to me, and I think at the end of the day, choosing it, it was something that I chose it with fear. I will say that fully because it was creating an entire FDD from scratch. I had my hands in that process in my previous company, but to have your name attached to something. So I definitely did it with excitement because it was a new challenge, but definitely, with fear there. Again, choosing it was seeing the opportunity, the research that I did um, in just a 24-hour period. I had no idea that, pet waste just dissolved and turned into fertilizer for your grass and your grass loved it. It's super toxic. It
Mm,
brings other unwanted animals into your yard because it's full of protein. Like there's so much from an educational aspect that I truly chose it for the professional challenge, and then at the heart of it is just educating everyone to clean up their communities and create a safe world for us and then also for generations to come.
I love challenges. And I feel like so many times people get hung up on challenges sometimes and they're like, well, I don't know if I can do that. Or what if I fail? And I'm always like, okay, well, what if you do just get back up? And that mindset isn't always for everybody, but the challenges are so important to take. Like, I love challenges personally and professionally, no matter what. Like, I'm always like, all right, I haven't done this ever. Let's go and do this. Right. Like, I haven't skydived, but I don't know that I would. But like, just taking that risk and taking that challenge, there's something about the adrenaline that pumps you up and then goes into your professional life as well. So I'm always trying to keep challenges and fear going so that I can be better.
Absolutely. I mean, I feel like I recently stepped into that just the last 5, 6 years of my life too. Personally, I've taken on some fitness challenges, like
Yeah.
and a full on fitness competition, kind of like a CrossFit competition. And the preparation, like the discipline that you have leading up to it, not only that hey, I'm saying yes to this challenge, right?
Right.
So what that does to your mind, and then the discipline that you have leading up to it, the fact that you have to show up, you have it's not really a team challenge, but you have this team around you supporting you who's also signed up, and then how that discipline in my personal life 100% bleeds over into my professional life because I know that I can physically do hard things, then it's like, okay, mentally, even though there are some days, right, we're not perfect. So there are some
Yeah.
days
No.
where I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't have it in me, but we just do it anyways.
Exactly. No, we just do it. Like, and I'm totally in the same boat. Like, I never was a workout person. I was more of like a dancer kind of thing. But I'm working out, and after I work out in the mornings, I'm just like, I'm ready to tackle this day. And I think that there's something about that business side of things, right? Like for the longest time, like I would beat myself up mentally. Like I needed that mindset shift, and that, as well as many other things, have helped shift that. So going into this company, you kind of took things on, and like you said, you didn't really know too much. You had to learn how to do the FDD. What would you say was your biggest obstacle you faced so far?
For me, I would say 2 things. For me, it was 1, breaking through a mindset that poop could be profitable, right? And for me being proud of what I'm selling, right? That's something hard to
Sure.
kind of break through your pride to be like, hey, no, this is something one that has true value. And in it, as a business model, we truly do have to make sure that we're properly disposing of pet waste and it's not lingering. And then the second thing is making sure that for me as a leader in this position, I've been in a management role and a leader position before, but it is wildly different because you're asking someone to buy into a
Mhm.
model that is in its infancy. There are going to be, we've had a, CRM total switch in the last 30 days, and you have to make sure that you are over communicating and creating that trust with people who are truly buying into, this business model and the support and knowing that, hey, you get to be a pioneer, and you get to, pick your prime territory, but that also comes with the opportunities to help test different resources and solutions for their own businesses. And then as we grow, so I think that's been the biggest challenge for me, but it's also been exciting to
Yeah.
have this, fresh team behind Cooper Scoopers as we grow and as we grow very quickly.
Hey there, I want to interrupt this episode with a quick message. If you're listening to this podcast episode and want to learn about branding your franchise or small business, then go to brandingbridge.com. That's branding-bridge.com. So we talked a little bit about the waste and how it's important, and there's all these stereotypes. And I'm still genuinely curious because I've heard similar stories where oh, it's okay for the dogs poops to be on the grass. They're just fertilizer. So kind of, can you go into a little bit more depth about that to help understand more?
Yeah, absolutely. So again, I felt the same way until December 23rd, where I'm like, oh, let me do some research. So pet waste has millions per particle bacteria, 23 million per
Wow.
centimeter, something wild. E. coli, salmonella, ringworm, and it's just lingering in your backyard. So what's terrible about it and for potential if you have multiple pets is that if there is specific bacteria in one pet's waste, and then that can be transferred over to your second pet. So if they had ringworm or something and your other pet is somehow getting involved, that's something that they can transfer. Pet waste also has a ton of protein in it. Rats and mice love protein, so it is actually, creating some sort of feeding ground for rodents that you don't want in your backyard. Rats and mice can also bring additional friends, such as snakes. It's potential dangers lingering there. And then if you are in for us, we live right on the water. We are big seafood junkies, and pet waste is super toxic to get into the waterways. It can actually harm the healthy bacteria that's in our waterways. So we want to make sure that we are removing it, disposing of it in the best way possible. We are currently researching. We want to be innovative when it comes to disposing of the waste. So when you're looking at a large scale disposal, it is going in the trash into our landfills. But what can we do in the next 5 years to make sure that we are making the best eco conscious decision as an entire company in all of our territories across the nation on disposing our waste? So that's something that is top of mind. As we research, how can we scale a disposal method that's safe and eco-conscious.
So your dog can have these things and not even know that. It just comes out sometimes and you don't even know that they have all those issues.
If it's any lingering waste, your pets have stepped in it, it's now coming into your home, your children, we just wanna make sure we're removing it. We offer sanitation and deodorization, treatment as well, so it will fully kill any lingering bacteria. And, we want to educate our pet parents. We have commercial opportunities as well. So installing and maintaining pet waste stations if our commercial properties, and then maintaining any dog parks, dog runs, making connections with our cities as well. We have a beautiful park right down the street from us. It's a huge park. Huge. It's got a 4-mile walking path around this lake. They have one pet waste station. I'm sure it's all in the leaves, and then again, it's going right into the lake, so we wanna eliminate that.
That makes sense. So the next part too is you are part of loyalty brands and there's so much power behind that brand as well. Tell us a little bit about how that helps you guys.
I did not go from point A to point B launching this brand without the support. Having people who have pioneered and launched other brands as well, being able to lean on them. We do want to be, as Loyalty Brands wants to be the number one resource for all of our pet parents through, we have our grooming, our mobile Zoom and Groomin', and then our brick and mortar Salty Dog
Yeah,
mobile, or excuse me, not mobile, but grooming and bakery. And then Cooper Scoopers. So we want to be the number one choice for all pet parents. And again, just the marketing support. We have over 400 years experience combined at Loyalty Brands. So a lot of experience in franchising and making sure that we have proven systems and we're creating happy, successful franchisees.
perfect. Are you doing any marketing for franchisees and then like the franchise side?
Yeah, so for, right now as we're just launching, we are really just tapping into a lot of our, leads that we have through, again, the pet brands and the exposure that we've gotten. And for our franchisees, we do create an incredible launch. We provide ongoing marketing support and assets, but we do have an incredible 90-day marketing launch plan as well as assets for all of our franchisees. When you're launching your business, those first 90 days of marketing are so important, but we want to make sure that our franchisees are spending that time building those relationships, securing those long time recurring customers. So we want to give them all the tools to be able to apply in their business, but without having to spend a lot of time creating, or we just want to give them to them to execute. We'll create all the assets that you need for your brand.
Yeah, I would agree with that in a sense of, there's always digital ads and digital stuff, but you need to get involved with your community and you need to have those relationships built and just put them into the CRM and build them as well digitally over time. But those first few months are just so important. Get involved with the chamber, show up to events, show up, do all of the things, build those relationships, build collaborations, do all of the things that you can possibly do locally to show up because it's the most important thing you can do. Like the marketing stuff will come afterwards, but you still need to
Right,
start somewhere. You know what I mean?
right,
And that's where it's really powerful. So many times people are like, well, I don't know about the digital marketing. The digital marketing works, but you also need to have an audience slash like relationship with these people because those relationships matter the most at the beginning. They're going to be the ones that are writing those reviews or telling their friends about it. And if that experience isn't good, then the digital marketing isn't going to go far.
right, right. Yeah, absolutely. I couldn't agree with you more, Susie. The reviews and referrals,
Mhm.
they don't fall out of the air. Even if you spend, X amount on digital marketing, if you have not built those initial relationships to get those referrals and reviews,
Yep.
then you're going to be playing a long game.
I know. I know. Well, that's fantastic that you have that support for them. If anybody wants to get in touch with you, how can they find you or learn more?
Yeah, if you want to find out about a Cooper Scoopers in your territory, you go to cooperscoopers.com. And if you're interested in launching a Cooper Scoopers in your territory, if you'll go right to cooperscoopers.com, franchise opportunities, you can actually schedule an initial call with myself, and I'll be able to answer any questions that you have so we can clean up your community one yard at a time.
Thank you, everybody, for listening in on today's Brand Clarity episode with Susie Liberatore. Two things. First and foremost, please, if you liked this episode, please subscribe and leave some positive reviews. Also, don't forget to sign up for Stop Sending Your Customers to the Competition and get my insider secrets to compelling branding that converts. You can find that at branding-bridge.com. It's a free workbook for you to check out right now, all of the branding techniques and strategies that I use for my paying clients.